It's Saturday morning, and Luis and I, who's our driver because I get sleepy in cars. So Luis is doing the driving. We decided to go up to Mammoth and take our pup, who hasn't been up to Mammoth in a while, just chilling in the back seat. So if you don't know, Mammoth is like 6 or 8 hours north of us in California. So it's at elevation. It's about 6,000 to 8,000 feet, I believe. Like, it kind of depends if you stay in the village or if you go up on the mountain. One of the first races I did when I started running was actually a half marathon in Mammoth, I guess 3 years ago now. I think it was 3 years ago. Oh no, we've been dating almost 3 years. Shit. Maybe 3.5 years ago, because it was in the spring. I don't know. Anyway, a few years ago when I started running, the Mammoth Half Marathon was one of the first races I did. I think it was the second half marathon I ever did. My first one was in Zion. And then I did the San Diego, I think, Rock and Roll in June. And then like 2 weeks later, I did the Mammoth Half. And I didn't know that elevation was a thing that you had to think about if you were going to be running really hard. Complete noob. A lot of people were like, oh, you're running in Mammoth, like, are you worried about the elevation? And I was just like, what are you talking about? And I got to the point where I was like looking up oxygen canisters, because I was like, oh my god, will I not be able to breathe at elevation? Do I need to take oxygen or something? It was
such a newbie. Wow.
Be nice. I had no idea, and like none of my friends were runners yet. I didn't have any running friends yet, and I just didn't know. But some of my friends that hiked a lot were like, oh, the elevation, like, oh, it's gonna be hard to breathe, there's not a lot of air up there. And I was like, oh my god, like, should I bring oxygen with me? So I did the half marathon up there, and it's deceptive because the first half of the race is downhill, like noticeably downhill, but not like super steep. So I remember doing like 6:45 pace downhill for the first half of that race, and I was like, oh man, this is gonna be a great race. I'm gonna run another like 140, maybe 135, maybe get another PR. It's gonna be great, because it was only my third half. And then as soon as we leveled out, and there was like the tiniest little bump, like not even like 10 feet, like not even a 10-foot hill, I slowed down to like 9-minute pace, and I was huffing and puffing, wheezing. I was like, oh my god, this is elevation, because I didn't notice it when I was hiking the day before. It wasn't really that bad. It was really just when I was running, and it just hit me. And I think I walked. I think I ended up taking a few walk breaks. So I went from like 6:45 pace for the first 10K, feeling great, super easy. I was like, this elevation thing is not a problem. Hit a little 10-foot hill, went to 9-minute pace. I think walked a little bit. I remember my mom was tracking this race online, because they had like the live tracking or whatever, and I found out later, had started getting worried, because she's like, she should have hit the next thing by now. Where'd she go? Like, why isn't she at the next, like, timing mat or whatever? I think maybe I ended up third in my age group there. I think I still ended up running like a 140. I think I ended up running a 140 just because my first half was so good and the second half was not. So that was my first lesson in altitude running, which was a little bit rough. I haven't raced that race since. I feel like it might be fun to do, because there are a lot of fast runners that train up in Mammoth, and I remember the first couple girls in that race were like super elite. You could tell just by looking at them, like little crop top run buns, like small, lean, super fast. So it might be fun to try to do it again and see, because the race starts really high. I think it starts at 8,000 or 9,000 feet and then goes down into the village, but the second half has like a little bit of rolling hills, so it ends up being a little bit tougher the second half. But anyway, Luis and I decided to go to Mammoth this weekend. So we left Friday after I got home from work, but it's a long enough drive. We didn't make it all the way last night. We stopped to go to bed at like 10 or 10:30. So we're finishing the drive this morning. So we're gonna get there kind of late morning. And then I think we're gonna try to take the dog on some hikes. I don't know, we'll probably try to run a little bit.
This evening?
Yeah, maybe we'll hike with the dog and then check into the hotel, run in the evening. I haven't been to Mammoth in a few years, I think. Maybe we went up once together, but I really like Twin Lakes. It's really beautiful. I'll try to take my camera and get some footage. It's so pretty. There's a lot of like lakes and a lot of greenery, mountains. There might be some snow still since it's so high up. So it'll be a kind of a good like little training weekend. I know people have commented on videos in the past, you know, asking if I do altitude running or altitude training, or telling me I should because it's good for you. It's good for training. Why is it good for training?
You build up more red blood cells. So the red blood cells provides the oxygen for endurance running. So
right. And then when you go back to sea level, it feels easier.
Right, because you already generate enough red blood cells in your body. But you need to stay there for a longer period of time, for about 3 months or so.
So this weekend's not really going to do much.
No, it just makes the run harder, and
it's going to be like
more
a workout.
effort.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not much running once or twice a week. You know, a lot of people who live in Mammoth, they live there, they run there, but their actual hard workout, from what I know from the elite runners, they come down and they train harder at sea level, or at least lower elevation than what they are doing up there in Mammoth.
Yeah, like I think they have some kind of like training camps up in Mammoth where some of the elite runners will go for like, I think a week or two, and then they'll like sleep and stay up in high elevation, and then when they have workouts they'll come down a little bit so that they can do the workouts faster and then go back up.
I mean, a lot of college athletes go up there for camps before they're starting. So right now a lot of people have gone to the camps and all that, but actually a lot of elite runners live up here and train up here, from what I know of them, and they drive an hour just to do the workouts somewhere where it's like 3,000-4,000 lower than what it is in Mammoth.
Yeah, so if you're a college runner or a full-time runner or a pro, you can do things like that. For us regular people with jobs, the best we can kind of do is take weekend trips to elevation. So when people ask me why I don't train elevation more, it's really just because we live at sea level and we have to go to work, and the nearest elevation is like an hour drive at 4,000 or 5,000 feet. So, you know, if I have an extra 2 hours to drive there and back, plus an extra hour or two to run, if I have an extra 4 hours, I could go for a run at elevation, but it's just not practical. So the best we can usually do is maybe a weekend run at elevation, or something like this where, you know, we can take a weekend trip somewhere and do a couple runs at elevation, and it's just going to be like a harder effort kind of workout. But we're not going to get a ton of the adaptation benefits of altitude just because we live at sea level and there's not a lot of, you know, high altitude stuff accessible. But when we did Fort Carson a few weeks ago, was that at elevation?
Yes.
I think that we did
6,000.
Yeah, we did Fort Carson in Colorado at 6,000 feet. And I didn't notice the elevation too much. It was obviously a hard race, but it was also really hot out and like really dry, sandy, exposed trail. So it's kind of hard to tell how much of it was just a hard course and how much of it was the elevation. But I feel like if you train hard enough, you do the workouts, you do a lot of trail running, you do a lot of hills and like hard efforts on the hills, you can get away with racing at elevation and still do okay. Like we all, you know, still did pretty well at that race at elevation at 6,000 feet, you know, a few weeks ago now. Even though we don't train at elevation, I can't remember the last time I ran at elevation other than that race. So, you know, you can kind of get away without running at elevation, but, you know, it helps, obviously, if you're going to race at elevation a lot. And it is fun just to go out to the mountains. It's beautiful. It's a change of scenery. Mammoth is very picturesque, very scenic, very beautiful. So we're, you know, heading up there. We're really just going to be there probably like 24 hours because we're going to get up there late morning, stay there tonight, Saturday night, and then we'll have to come back like early Sunday afternoon because it's like an 8-hour drive. So we're really probably only going to be at elevation like 24 hours, so we can probably get a hike in today, maybe a run this evening, and then maybe a run tomorrow morning. So normally, according to the plan I kind of set for myself, Saturdays would be a workout. Like I did my first week, I did a track workout Wednesday and then a longer workout Saturday. So this week I did my track workout Wednesday. So today, according to the schedule, should be like a harder effort workout kind of thing. So we'll basically approximate that with a run at elevation because, you know, there's less air, it's harder to breathe, your heart rate will be higher, we're going to be on hills, probably running up a mountain or something like that. So it's still going to be a hard effort. I'm sure my heart rate will get pretty high. So it's, you know, it's kind of a similar training effect, right?
We're just getting a lot of time on our feet.
I'll check in with you guys in a little bit, let you know once we get out there. I'm sure we'll get more footage hiking with the dog than we would while we're running because, you know, it's kind of hard to vlog while you run unless you have a drone, which would be cool. But we don't have a drone. Maybe one day. Subscribe and like the video. Maybe I can get a drone one day. So yeah, we'll check in with you guys later when we're out on the trails. The joys of road trips. Lots of trees, lots of fields. Lots of mountains up in the distance. Now we're in Mammoth Lakes. We made it. We're heading.
Waterfall.
Ooh, oh, I stopped here to take pictures before, I think, at that lot. The lake's over there. We're driving up to one of the trailheads now to hike with the dog until we can check into the hotel. Yeah, so I think on the way into like Mammoth proper, they said it's 7,500 feet in the little town of Mammoth. We've been going uphill to the trailhead. Ooh, horses. So I think the trailheads are probably 8,000 feet. We're gonna do our little hike with the dog before we check in, and then we're gonna probably run back up here from the hotel. It's like all uphill 3-4 miles to get back up here from where we're staying in town. So we'll do that once we can check in. We'll just run back up here and maybe do 10 miles. All right, puppy.
Come on.
Oh, we're probably gonna get a little wet. How much you want to bet I'm gonna trip and fall? Excuse you, dog. Poor planning. Okay, didn't fall. Success. Oh, that's pretty. Oh, here we go. TJ Lake Loop, Barrett Lake, Coldwater George Trail. I've only been hiking like an hour. So hungry. What is it, like 1 or 2? All we've had today is a breakfast sandwich. So I guess I'm gonna have the only goo I brought with me on this trip. Luis brought a couple. So when we're done with the hike, probably drop off the dog and come back and run. Goos only tastes good when I'm hiking, when I'm hungry, not when I'm running. What say you, expert coach? Do you need to take more gels at altitude?
Yes. We bring in a little more calories. So, you know, the intake of the oxygen, we bring in a little more stuff. So, yeah, definitely need to take a little more.
Altitude, whew, you need more calories. So make sure you pack extra goos. Also, if you're at elevation, it tends to be drier. You need to pack more fluid. So, don't be like me. Be prepared. Bring extra fluid, extra goos, extra calories.
And do what I do.
Don't be like me.
Do what I say.
Do what I say, not as I do.
Yeah.
Is that what you're looking for?
Yeah, exactly that one. Hey guys, I'm taking over Lauren's camera. Like you guys know, we're Mammoth, and we're a little bit more above 9,000 feet. And the reason I'm helping you puppy because we've been running about 1.5 miles straight up this bike path. I gotta say, I'm going like 8:20 pace, and it's a struggle. It's around 3:30 p.m. Beautiful day here in Mammoth. I'm about 1.5 in. I'm turning around a little up here, so I go say hi to Lauren, pick her up, and see how she's doing. We're just doing a little shakeout, run, and see how this goes. You can hear us huffing and puffing. We apologize, but
It's a nice steady up climb. We can stop here and I was just telling everybody that we're 9,000 feet. And this is a struggle for anybody who's in shape.
Pace means nothing. It's like 9:30 pace. As soon as you stop running, you're fine. Like the flats and downhills are fine, but like the littlest uphill, I sound like I'm hyperventilating, but like it's been what, 30 seconds? And
yeah,
as long as you're not running uphill, it's fine. It's gonna be uphill the whole way out and then downhill the whole way back. So downhill would probably be 7:30 pace fine, because you don't feel the altitude on the downhill. It's just the uphill.
that's nice and steady uphill.
Get all that work out of the way at the beginning of the run.
We stopped here to just take pictures, guys, and so the wind picked up. Another 4 miles in, actually another mile, so it'd be a total of 4 miles out and 4 miles back. Fun times.
We went like 4 miles out and up, pretty gradual, steady climbing the whole way. So we'll probably stretch a little bit, and then there's a little bit of rolling hills before it kind of goes downhill on the way back, so we might start the fartlek down once we get through the rolling hills. According to my resting heart rate, my heart rate was probably around 150 climbing, so it felt worse than it actually was.
What I'm gonna do is do a little fartlek down, 2 minutes, 3 minutes down.
How many?
Try to get 6 in. I should get another 5 miles in, so.
Good morning. It's now Sunday. It's a little bit before 9 because we kind of slept in. We took our time a little bit. Yesterday, I ended up doing just about 8 miles. Luis did around 9. He did more of an actual fartlek workout on the way down than I did. My calf and ankle weren't feeling great, and I wanted to make sure I was gonna be good enough to run today too. So I picked it up a little bit on the way down, but it wasn't really I wouldn't call it a structured or a formal workout, but there was some harder effort, I guess. And then we actually went out to a local bar called Blacked Out. Not like blacked out like you passed out, but black the color doubt. Didn't realize that till we got there. I thought it was blacked out like passed out. But anyway, we went out to the bar last night where one of Luis's old college runner friends works. So we hung out there for like, I don't know, 5 hours. I had been ready for bed since like 8, yawning, you know, bringing everybody down. It's really sad. I am not good at staying out late. But we had a lot of fun visiting with everybody. We tried a few flights of beers. They have a lot of really good beers there. If you're in the area, recommend trying it out. And they don't serve food, but the Mexican place next door will deliver to the bar. So that was really nice. So we really...
Dog friendly too.
Oh yeah, it's dog friendly too. So we got to take our dog inside the bar, and they have a couple tables outside. Oh, it's so pretty. Let me just... We're heading out to... What's the name of the trail we're going to run today?
Mammoth Rock Trail Park.
Mammoth Rock?
Yeah.
Mammoth Rock Trail. So yesterday we actually ended up running from the hotel in like the city of Mammoth up. It was basically just 4 miles up, and then you turn around and come back. So we were kind of on the main road going out of town uphill towards like Twin Lakes, Lake George, Lake Mary, and all that, and then turned around and came back. Today we're going kind of out to the other side of town. I don't think I've ever run out on this side before, so I'm gonna probably try to do 10 miles, although if I'm not feeling good and or we run out of time before checkout, then that's fine. I'm already at 50 for the week, so anything in the 50s is really fine for me because I'm still kind of building. Luis is trying to do a little over 10 today, I think, to put him where he wants mileage wise. So this is really nice. This trailhead's only like 10 minutes from just the Mammoth city. And then the other ones were like, I don't know, maybe a 20-minute drive when we drove out there to hike with the dog. And then obviously we ran the other time. So not super far, which is nice. There are a lot of trail options. So you'll probably see us a little bit out on our run. And then we have like, what, an 8-hour drive home today. And that will be the end of kind of our mini training camp up in Mammoth for the weekend, which I think was, well, we'll see how the run goes, but I would say pretty successful. You know, getting in some hikes and runs and visiting with some friends and all that good stuff. So try to get excited to go run some more, even though I'm so tired.
All right, this part of the trail. You guys can see the view along this edge of the cliff or mountain. And then along behind. Alright, we got about 1.5 miles to on this trail. And you guys can see it's still right here, it's pretty flat, pretty runnable. So we turn around. At the end of this trail is the road. Now we're going back where we started. It's slightly little incline.
We came down from Old Mammoth Road about 2 miles back up this way. We were taking Mammoth Rock Trail, so we went down this way. It only goes out another half mile or so, and then it ends at Sherwin Road, I think. So we're probably gonna get 6 miles, and then maybe we can add on a little bit from the other 2.
So we are going back to our run. We're heading back the trail. I think this is probably the best part about this little short trail. The first mile. Nice little view. It's runnable and it's shaded.
On the search for the elusive rock tub hot springs. They should be here somewhere, as is a little herd of cows. Oh, is this it? There's a pipe, and there's a very murky looking pond, and there's some shoes. There has to be a bigger one, right? Or is this it? Is this it? That looks gross. That looks so gross. Oh, yeah, this is it. Guess I had higher hopes than this. Higher hopes than this. I'm so sad. That's depressing. I guess now we'll just drive home.
They massively over-indexed in saying, yes, we will come to that. They call the new format.
It's Sunday night. We finally made it back home. It was a long day in the car. After our run this morning, we had to quick go check out of the hotel because it was already 11. So after we had breakfast / brunch, we were gonna try to hit some hot springs on the way out of Mammoth. So I've never been to any of the hot springs in Mammoth, and I've been wanting to go to some hot springs for, I don't know, at least a year, maybe 2 years. So as you can see, we didn't find any hot springs worth going into. So unfortunately, I didn't get to go to any hot springs on this trip. So we decided to just head back towards San Diego. And we stopped to get pizza at like, I don't know, maybe 6 o'clock or so. So we just had brunch at like 11, and then, you know, you're just sitting in the car all day. We didn't run as much as we wanted to this morning. We just didn't have enough time before we had to check out and leave. But yeah, I ate, I think, 3/4 of a pizza. Luis ate his pizza, but that was also like pretty much, I mean, we had 2 meals today, 2 like pretty large meals. So it's almost 9 o'clock now, Sunday night. We finally got home, just finished unpacking the car. You can probably tell I'm glistening right now because our apartment has been baking for 3 days and it's about 80 degrees in here. So we're gonna try to cool the place off real quick and then go to bed. But I wanted to kind of wrap up this weekend kind of mini travel training vlog. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching our trip to Mammoth. If you guys are heading up there, or if you've been up there in the past, let us know down below if there's any trails that you recommend that we didn't mention or didn't go to. Or, for the love of God, if you know of any good hot springs in Mammoth, please let me know down below so I can find them next time we go up there. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.